call the June 15th, 2023 meeting of the Economic Development Commission to order, starting with roll call on my left.
June Gagne.
Mary Ann Gennatti.
Eva Colonna.
Thank you. And Adrian Paulson walked in at 7:02. Okay, there are no changes to the agenda. We have next approval of minutes, May 18th. Does someone want to make a motion?
I just wanted to state that Ava was not here at that meeting, May 18th.
Remember I came in here and I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And Marianne was.
And under the call to order, I called the meeting to order, so it's Chair M.A. Gennatti. And also on page 2, under new business, second paragraph, Chairman Mary Ann as opposed to Town Planner. Does anyone else have anything?
What did you change that to? Town planner?
Chairman,
Chairman.
because I was speaking as the chair of the commission, I wasn't speaking as my job.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
okay, so if
I'll
there
make a
are,
motion to accept that unless anybody wants.
as amended,
As amended.
okay, is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Public participation, we have no members of the public here. Reports, just a couple of things. On the 28th of this month from 4 to 7, over at the Central School, there will be a FEMA open house so that people can come and look at the new FEMA maps and see whether or not their properties are affected, and to ask questions of the FEMA reps and the DEP rep. And also, I just want to remind those of you who haven't gotten me your bullet lists. If I could have your bullet list as soon as you can put it together, please, so that I can get it out to everybody and we can prep for next week's workshop.
Can you
That would be
remember
helpful.
what the bullet list is? I'm sorry.
The bullet list, you know how you did your plan? Make that a bullet list,
I see.
okay?
That's
And,
easy.
Got it.
yeah, so I'm waiting on yours and Paul
I
Smith.
mean, okay, it was already there, it was like the first page or something in the initial report. I can
Okay,
isolate
pull it out and email it to me if you
Sure.
would.
It's like a shopping list.
Yeah.
It's not-
Katie, would you please, tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, email Paul Smith and ask him for his, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Yes, I did send it in the email that I sent with the agenda as well,
Okay.
so you did receive a
Oh, okay,
reminder, but I will
okay.
send another one on Tuesday.
Thank you. Under new business, B&H Trailers, review and recommendation for proposed inventory storage at 1 Center Parkway, owned by 6 Center Parkway LLC. If you would state your name for the record, please.
Matthew Logan,
And you're representing?
BH Trailers and Plows for
Okay.
6 Center Parkway.
Okay, do you want to tell us a little bit about what's proposed?
Basically, we're trying to integrate this parking lot into the current parking lot we have without, like having another access to the road, trying to keep it up as secure as possible, but pretty basic. Obviously, he's added some water drainage because of the wetlands behind it. Other than that, we are crossing over an access road that we have to leave open for the utilities that are going through that.
And the access road, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, that is on B&H property, correct?
Correct.
So that's an easement,
Correct.
okay.
The only time I've ever seen Eversource come there once and
Mhm.
clear it once for the natural gas lines.
And the purpose of this is
It's
for
just-
inventory storage?
All inventory storage. We've struggled with security issues over the years,
Mhm.
and we've had to really just downsize and bursting at the seams. Basically, just is where we're at. We have maybe this time of year, maybe a month or two's worth of inventory. So it makes it very difficult to replace when it takes 3 months to replace things. So it's kind of difficult. Right now in the industry boomed a lot in COVID. We had about a 30 to 40% increase in sales due to COVID, which helped us a lot. We were able to get a lot of inventory during COVID, and that's why we had it in places like over by the highway, the old Agway. So it is a little easier to function with less. We're not running around. We're a lot more efficient keeping it in one place. And that's kind of why we wanted it, integrated into one. We don't want to go down the road with the trailers. We want to keep it on the property.
Question. The main building plus the lot behind it you're using for inventory storage,
Correct.
and you want to use this for inventory storage. Will you be merging these into one property? That's my only concern here.
Eventually, the basic gist is there's a mortgage on the building. So for me to merge it all wouldn't be yet. And soon time we would probably merge these two.
I beg your pardon?
I would probably soon, but we're investigating, kicking around the subject of an addition to the building. To be able to do that, we would have to merge properties. And I think that's where we'll cross that bridge.
Okay, my only concern is if I recall, the zoning regulations require you to have an access to the property, a driveway access to each of the lots. And if you don't want to have an access from the cul-de-sac into this lot, you know what I'm saying?
We will, and that's where I had a conversation with Dan,
Yeah,
was to attach it to this access road.
right, but the access road isn't an actual street. So would you then be granting an access easement to this property over your other property?
Correct.
Because that way you could address it.
Correct.
Okay, until you can merge it, all right. Is it going to be fenced?
A small portion down at the end of the cul-de-sac will need to be fenced.
Okay.
Other than that, it's all woods and terrain that we don't have to worry about, which is helpful in the sense of security.
Okay.
There's a lot of rock in there.
Anybody else have questions? I'm kind of monopolized the conversation here.
Well, we're gonna, after this, if we approve it, it goes
We need to make a recommendation to the Planning and Zoning
to
Commission.
P and Z, it doesn't have to go to inland wetlands.
That would be my question.
Where we have, we didn't believe we needed to, but apparently we do.
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
you're within the 100-foot upland review area.
I don't believe we are. I don't know if the retention pond is.
Nobody's
but
talked to you about it? Consent this from planning and zoning?
Dan informed me that we have to go to inland wetlands. He originally told me we shouldn't have to because we're on the line, but I guess because of it being a conservatory, not necessarily being, the land, the lots behind it were part of the sale. They got attached, so there's 9 acres or more behind it that came with the property that's all part of a conservatory. And then there's a 100-foot buffer. And I think it's more because it's conservatory because I guess there is 0 use inside that 100-foot buffer. So because we're up against it, they want us to do that once.
So then, when would you be submitting to wetlands?
I believe Dan is working on it right now.
Okay.
He was just trying to finalize this. I believe he said he was about 85% or 90% there.
So you're thinking a couple months?
Oh, I'm hoping we're sooner than that. Hopefully we get it next month.
Yeah. Not a matter for this commission, but you would need to get your application into the Wetlands Commission meets the 3rd Tuesday of every month. And if you're going to be submitting to Planning and Zoning as well, even though we meet, the Planning and Zoning Commission meets before the Wetlands Commission, statutorily you have to submit your wetlands application
Correct.
either before or at the same time as
Mhm.
P and Z. So if you submit to wetlands for next month, they generally, that's the month they'll receive it, so they'll act on it in August.
Correct.
So if you submit simultaneously, planning and zoning won't be able to act on it until September, because they can't act until wetlands does. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that.
Been down this road before.
Yeah, okay.
Takes time.
It's good, you know. Yeah.
Anybody else have any other questions, concerns?
We have to make a
Thoughts?
motion.
We need a motion to recommend one way or the other.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to recommend them to continue on through the process.
Are they favorable recommendation?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
you betcha. Correspondence, trade name listing was sent to everybody via email. And that's the last agenda item before adjournment, so
I'm making a motion to adjourn.
is there a second?
I'll second
Adjourn at 7:15. All those in favor?
that.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.